Yo, this is TheJDzero bringing you another basically exceed a stat total of 2808, and this is our part 7 of our match. And let's just go ahead and get into the match. I already brought in a different team, so you're gonna see different teams from me, you're gonna see different teams from my opponent. Basically she brings in 2 Sylveons, so she got like a halfway Eevee evolution team on here, where it's 2 Sylveons and 1 Espeon. So it's gonna be a pretty good match. Let's go ahead and go into it. So basically she starts off the Roxy Fox, the little Delphox that she has. I start off with my Galvantula. So basically I went to go ahead and set up sticky webs. Since I outspeeded, I set up sticky webs, and she goes into using flamethrower, and I was like, okay, cool, it's a crit. Okay, I lived on Focus Slash, so that's good for me. I go for the Sucker Punch, trying to see if I would be able to take it out with the move, because since she's like half psychic and everything, hopefully I would be able to take it out, but I wasn't able to. So I die off to a Fire Blast. So I sent out my Game Boy JD and decided to what was the move that I decided to go for? She goes for Psychic, I go for the Thunder Wave, and I got a little paralyzed on her, and I was like, yes, finally. Let's see what else can I do from there. So I do get the leftovers. I go for the double team, and she goes for another Psychic, trying to see if she could kill me off with Psychic. It almost did amount enough to take me out, but if it was a crit, it would have been a different story. I probably would have died off. So I go ahead and try to go for a Swagger. I should have just went for another double team. I think another double team will help me out with the missing part. And she does land another Psychic, basically killing off the Game Boy JD. And I sent in Rose, and I decided to go for a double team of my own. And she snaps out of confusion. She goes for the Fire Blast. It avoids the attack. I was like, okay, cool. Let me go for another Swagger just to get it to +4. Hopefully I could do another double team and she'll miss again and hit herself. She gets fallen to the paralyzed, so that's good for me. I go for another double team. And now it's the debate of, is she gonna hit me, not hit me, get hit by the confused? She does not get hit by the confused. She does land a flamethrower. I go ahead and do another double team. I don't care. I'll just get 3 up, see if she hits herself this time. And she does, and I was like, thank you. I go for another double team so I can get +4. Hopefully it's enough for her to just keep missing. She goes for the Blast Burn. I avoided it. I go for another double team just to get enough to be +5. And she does lend the Fire Blast. I was like, that sucks. She was able to kill out Rose. So now I end up putting in AZ, and I decided to go for the Zen Headbutt, taking it out. Just why not, doesn't matter to me, because I think I could have already killed from that range anyway, so that's why I went for it. So she sends out the Sylveon, her Asana, or not Asana, but if you know this Pokemon, if you know the name reference, it's basically from Sword Online. She goes for I forgot. I'm sorry, guys. I'm like a huge fan of Sword Online, but the fact that I forgot to say her name right kind of just don't Don't try to get mad at me for not saying her name right. But it's Azuna. See, I was about to do it. So I got her confused, and she does hit herself, and she's paralyzed. I do get double team up, and I don't know exactly if I'm like, what, +2 or +3 double team already. She does get the Drizzle of Dream off, so I'm probably at +2. I'm thinking I'm at +2, so now I should be at +3. And I'm trying to see if she snaps out. She does get the Draining Kiss off, so now I'm kind of at nearly 24 HP left. She does go for the quick attack, and it does take out AZ from that range. And I was like, oh no, not AZ. So I sent out my Alicia Keys, the Clinketh, and she withdraws her Azuna, and since switching with another Sylveon, and this is a shiny Sylveon, she gets into the sticky web, so now she's slow. I go for the swagger, she avoids the swagger. I go for a Thunder Wave, and then I do get a Paralyze off. Now she's even slower than ever. She does go for a Moonblast. It does not so much of a damage, and I do get my health back from leftovers. She switches out, and she goes back. She didn't go back. She goes into Eva, the Espeon, and I go for a swagger. I do land the swagger on the Espeon, and where do I decide to go to? I decide to go for I decide to go for Astonish. Okay. Well, the reason why I went for Astonish because it is a ghost type move, and I should be able to get that flinch, and I did get the flinch, and I think I should be able to get enough amount damage to the point, since it is a psychic type, I should be getting enough damage off of this psychic type because I'm using a ghost type move, and it does a pretty good damage. It doesn't get the flinch. Hopefully it hits itself. It does hit itself. I was like, okay, cool. She gets her health back. I go for another Astonish, try to take this thing out. I get the Astonish on there, and it doesn't hit itself. It doesn't get paralyzed. Oh, wait, do I have it on paralyzed? No, I do not. But it doesn't get, it doesn't hit itself. It doesn't flinch, but it does land the bite. I go for another Astonish, and it does not take it out, but I do get the flinch, and I was like, awesome, I do get the flinch. So I go for another Astonish here, trying to take out this Espeon, and I do get the Astonish up. I do take out the Espeon, and I was like, cool. And now she has still the 3 Pokemon left. She sends out the Florges. She gets in the speed drop, get the Thunder Whale off to even double the speed drop. So now I definitely could just outspeed everything off of that. I go for the swagger. If anything, I was gonna eventually outspeed anyway because I have the Prankster ability on this Clefairy to basically give me priority, but it just gives me more priority to do this move, because do it like that, because at least I'll be able to Astonish faster than the other opponent's team. So I go for a swagger, trying to see if it will just, either hit itself. If not, whatever. So now it's confused. Now the para works on it. So now I get my health back up even more, almost close to being full HP. I go for Astonish to see if I could get a flinch off, and it doesn't get the flinch off. I'm trying to see if it will hit itself. It doesn't hit itself, but it does get the para. So now I'm trying to see if it will either break through. If it could break through, then it wouldn't break through it. Break through all three of these hacks. It does break through the the confusion, and it gets the para. So now I put it back into the swagger. So it should be at +4 or +6. If I do go for another swagger on here, I'm probably have it at +4. It does get the pedal blizzard off, and it does a pretty good amount since I gave it +4. I go for the astonish. See if I could get a flinch. It was a crit, but it was no flinch. Try to see if it hits itself. It does hit itself. And I was like, thank you. And it looks like I probably have this thing at +6, if anything. It has to be at +6 to do that much damage. So I do get another astonish up. And the astonish does do somewhat amount. Doesn't get the flinch, but it does hit itself and ends the Florges. And now she has 2 Pokemon left. So it'll be the Asuna and the other Sylveon. So it's 2 Sylveons she has up. So all I need to do is basically take out her Asuna and her other Sylveon. So I do get the swagger up, and I'm trying to see if it will hit itself. Does it hit itself? Can it hit itself? It does hit itself. Pretty good amount of damage. Pretty good amount of damage. I get another good leftovers, and I go for another astonish. Try to get this thing to flinch. Doesn't flinch. Does it hit itself? It does hit itself, and I'm like pretty good, getting that good amount of damage up. And I go for another astonish. Doesn't get the flinch. Does it hit itself again? It does hit itself again. And awesome. So now it's pretty much probably about 3 or 4 HP left on it. I go for another astonish, and it does kills off Asuna. And now I gotta be left with is a shiny Sylveon that she has left, and this is our last Pokemon. So she sends out the Sylveon. It's already paralyzed. It's already have a get +2 down to speed. And I go for the swagger. Just to raise up the attack by 1. Try to see if it will hit itself. Does it hit itself? It does hit itself, and I'm looking pretty good. I don't know if I want to just go for another swagger. I think I go for another astonish. Yes, I do. And I'm just trying to see if it will flinch it. It does flinch it. And get another HP boost back onto. So I'm pretty much good at full HP. I go for another astonish. It doesn't do as much, but I try to see if it get the flinch. It doesn't get the flinch, but I do get it to hit itself again. So now I go for another astonish, and it does flinch. And I go for another astonish, and does it flinch this time? And it flinches again. And I go for another astonish. So that's already 2 astonish right there that got flinches. She snaps out of confusion. The para hacks go into play. I go for another astonish. That's pretty much either nope. She does go for a swift. It does a little bit, not too much. And Alicia Keys doing pretty good, sweeping out the whole team. I go for another astonish. Doesn't do that much. She does get para. I get the little HP boost back up. So now I'm about a little bit of 4 HP left that needs to be filled up. I do not get the takeout. I do not get the flinch, but I do get the para. And now I'm at full HP again. And I go for another astonish. Should be able to take it out. It does take it out. And basically, that ended up winning the game. And so, guys, this is the end of this match. Basically, I'll bring the other video up later on. So yeah, guys, comment, share, skull bash that like button, put your Skirtle shades on, and stay awesome, guys. Bye.